One of the events the Hilton Head Chamber of Commerce, the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce has put on the menu in October really kind of inspired us for this entire show. It's called the State of the Region. Yeah, it's not a bad idea every once in a while to just stop and get a feel for what the state of the region is. You've had the mayors of Bluffton and Hilton Head in. This is Charlie Clark, by the way, the Chamber of Commerce. They kind of discussed the state of the region at your big meeting last week, and Senator Lindsey Graham made an appearance. Of course, he's been making all kinds of news lately.
He's been a busy guy.
Yeah,
he's been a busy guy. Talking
about our relationship with the federal government. But it is time to stop and say, where are we? We're a year past Matthew now. How is the state of the region?
You know, it's an interesting event. It's always an interesting event. It's over 20 years we've been doing this, and when you pull together 800 people in the community, you really get a feel for what's happening. I think that was apparent in that room. One thing we did before this event is we polled the business community, because we want our elected officials to speak on what are the hot topic issues to you, what are the hot topic issues going on in the community, and they spoke loudly and clearly on all three fronts, and all three speakers spoke to the hot topic issues, which we know, which are workforce, finding a qualified, available workforce, affordable housing, and traffic. You know, traffic, that commute onto Hilton Head was a top issue, which interestingly enough wasn't even trending a few years ago. So to see them kind of just hone in on what's important and what matters here in our community and talk about what the challenges are. There are not easy solutions. It's something that's only going to be accomplished cohesively. So it was great to hear their feedback on that, as well as to hear Lindsey's take on, wow, what a great broad view of what's happening at the federal level that does impact the bottom line of businesses in our community.
All right, let's go to those three topics, though. The traffic issue is not something the Chamber can fix right off the bat, but bringing that issue to light lets the elected leaders know that it is something that needs to be addressed.
This is important. This matters to all of us, whether it's that morning commute or just the back and forth. You know, interesting, I know we've had that conversation before. Traffic is not really an issue that we hear about from visitors. You know, our visitors don't really talk to us about traffic because for them it's, you know, it's a relative term. If you're coming in from Chicago or Atlanta, you know, the traffic getting onto the island. But for those daily commuters, it does have an impact, especially with the growth of Bluffton and the ability to work in Bluffton, not necessarily having to come onto the island to do that. So it matters, it's important. And so just to hear kind of what some of those upcoming solutions might be in terms of bridge and infrastructure and things that need to happen to make that happen. And you know, the thing we learned with State of the Region, and we're hearing from our members, it's all intertwined. You know, it's almost like a whack-a-mole. You know, if you hit one, another one pops up. So you can't look at this issue without looking at those three things together. It's like the stool that goes together with affordable housing, workforce availability, finding them and getting them to the destination, to their job.
Workforce availability probably becomes number one, obviously, and that's something that you all as a chamber can help with, and you're going to do something about it.
Yeah, we did. We announced at State of the Region that we have just launched Jobs Now. This is something that we're seeing as a very localized, you need to find a job on Hilton Head Island, this is the place to do it. We've partnered with Indeed on this, so we have a lot of big power backing in terms of finding those jobs. We're also doing some outreach here in the spring, and this is just launched. We've just launched Jobs Now, and we've launched it here locally, and hopefully that will help with seasonal. And then also coming in January, February, we're doing a cohesive push into some of those top college markets that we know are really important to our area. We want to talk to the Clemsons, the South Carolinas, the sororities at the University of Ohio saying, there are jobs here in the summer, come get them, come down, come experience this. And so that's another way we're kind of reaching out and striking while the iron's hot, getting in front of it, with the H-2B visa issue, and so pushing that now.
Okay, now with the colleges, that's more summer jobs. We're not talking about permanent, you know, hospitality positions, because of course we're building that internally as well.
And it's not just, you know, it'd be easy to think of this as just hospitality, but it's not. We've also formed a workforce coalition, and what this is, we've taken leaders from all of those industries. Let's all sit down at the table together. You know, it's not just about restaurant workers. It's not just about hotel workers. It's not just about healthcare workers. It's landscaping. It's bank tellers. It's everything. So we've really formed this workforce coalition, pulled them together at the table so everyone can sort of play off each other and understand what the issues are because they differ. You know, for one, traffic might be number one. For another, it's all about affordable housing. For another, it might be, I can't find the workforce I need. So if you have a university sitting at the table with you, or how can we put it all together? How can we make it work?
Anything separately involving workforce housing, or is that all a part of this?
It's
this
all
whole
a part of
consortium?
this. You know, it's all a part of this. We're going to be doing, obviously, we did our Unite conference. We're going to be doing another one of those happening in the spring that's tackling these issue by issue. So as it evolves, it'd be great to have an easy fix. We'd all love to have an easy fix. And it's not there. But the good news is, what I think is fantastic, is that everyone is sitting around the table and talking, not just talking, but taking action. We all are coming together to do it, whether it's government, business, all of us at one time, because no one entity is going to fix it. The town has initiatives they're working on. Private sector has initiatives they're working on. But the bottom line, if you're a resident in this community, it makes such a difference. If you want to retain quality health care, you've got to get those quality health care workers. And it's important, and we're at a crossroads in this community. And so we think there's no better time to kind of be the connector, the conduit, and sort of taking those action steps that need to happen to make change happen.
Yeah, it's great that the Chamber is going to be a catalyst for all of this to come together. This whole come together thing, be careful. The folks in Washington might find out that that's the way to make things happen.
Right,
and,
you can work together and make it work.
Gee whiz. Make sure Lindsay knows all about that so that maybe he can take some of that to Washington with him. That'll be good stuff. Charlie, thanks again for the update. That's terrific. We're going to be back with more as we continue to discuss the state of the region here on Hilton Head Island with Charlie Clark of the Chamber of Commerce.